your kind of company.
Tonight on Ctv3 News, Customs officer foils a major smuggling plot as internal breach is uncovered in drug investigation. We'll also tell you about a disturbing case of incest involving a 13-year-old girl. And Patrick Faber is also on the news tonight. He has been charged with obstruction and assault against a police officer. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Tuesday, April 29, 2025.
It's the biggest pro SC card of the year, as 3 titles are at stake. As lightweight champion Marvin Mundo defends his belt against the #1 contender Raheem Lambe, and flyweight champion Jeffrey Martinez faces a hard-hitting It's the biggest pro SC card of the year, as 3 titles are at stake. As lightweight champion Marvin Mundo defends his belt against the #1 contender Raheem Lambe, and flyweight champion Jeffrey Martinez faces a hard-hitting Mexican Miguel Garcia Calderon. Plus KO specialist Diego Lopez from Honduras goes toe-to-toe with Kalen Smith from Belize City for the bantamweight belt. There will also be 11 other exciting MMA fights, including a special international female fight as May Blanco from Mexico faces the Nicaraguan Lady Oscarina Lopez in what is sure to be the fight of the night. General admission tickets are only $30 and VIP tickets are $100. On Saturday, May 17th, Prophecy Fighting Championship present Pro FC 60 Martinez versus Garcia, live from the Princess Vegas Hotel and Casino in Santa Elena, Corazon, exclusively on the Express Plus app.
Pro FC 16 is brought to you by Sherwin-Williams, DigiWallet, Carousel Commercial Free Zone, Bellikin Stout.
Electricity is essential for everyday life, but behind every outlet, a lot is happening to bring you safe, reliable, and sustainable energy. Let's start at the beginning. Independent power producers across Belize generate electricity using a mix of renewable and non-renewable resources. Electricity travels across a network of high-voltage transmission lines capable of transmitting electricity across long distances. Electricity then reaches your nearest substation, where it is adjusted to a lower voltage, making it safe to travel on the distribution lines you see in your community. From there, electricity makes its final journey from the distribution lines to your home, providing you with safe and reliable power when you need it. Belize Electricity Limited. We continue to serve you.
Have you seen Lori?
Check in at the White Lotus, where paradise turns into a playground for the privileged, and every sun-soaked moment is dripping with intrigue. Stream The
Have a
White
wonderful
Lotus
last day.
on HBO Max, available with Centaur.
Good evening. With your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7, I am Joanna Rodriguez. A significant breach within the Customs Department has come to light after a vigilant officer thwarted a potential smuggling scheme involving a substantial quantity of illicit substances. According to report, the incident unfolded when a package intended to resemble ordinary bad products drew suspicion due to unusual instructions from 2 fellow officers, one male and one female, who pressured the officer to expedite the processing of the shipment. Despite being addressed to a third party, the officer's instincts prompted him to examine the contents of the package more closely. Instead of lotions and soaps, he uncovered a stash of 15 pounds of high-quality marijuana concealed within plastic bags. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, He immediately informed his supervisor, which led to the initiation of an internal inquiry. Compounding the issue, security cameras captured the female customs officer entering the facility shortly after the discovery, further complicating matters. Subsequently, she has taken sick leave and has not returned to her post, leading authorities to suspect her potential involvement in an elaborate smuggling operation. Investigators are exploring the possibility that both officers are connected to a broader network that utilizes freight routes to smuggle cannabis into Belize. Valued at approximately $800 per ounce, this confiscation could mark one of the most significant drug interceptions that the department has seen in some time. The investigation is still active, with the potential for criminal charges looming as officials continue to dig deeper into this troubling case. Authorities are actively investigating a serious allegation surrounding a 13-year-old girl in southern Belize who has reported instances of sexual abuse by her father. The case emerged when the young girl's mother brought her to the police station to file a complaint, leading to an ongoing inquiry into the troubling allegations. According to police reports, the mother disclosed that her daughter had been a victim of incest as her father allegedly engaged in sexual intercourse with her on 3 separate occasions throughout the year of 2023. Following the report, a medical examination was performed on the young girl. Medical professionals confirmed that she had been carnally known. In Belize City, authorities are currently investigating a disturbing case concerning an unlawful sexual intercourse involving a 14-year-old female. The investigation began earlier this week when police were conducting a routine home search. During the operation on Monday, April 28, officials discovered an 18-year-old male allegedly engaging in sexual relations with the underage girl. Following the incident, a medical examination was carried out on the minor, wherein it was confirmed that she had been carnally known. The examination also revealed evidence consistent with physical harm, further complicating the already serious allegations against the adult male. Police have since taken the 18-year-old male into custody as the investigation unfolds. Coming up next, Orange Walk to host inaugural Pee Wee Basketball Invitational this weekend, featuring young talent from across districts. Stay tuned.
It's the biggest Pro SC card of the year, as 3 titles are at stake. As lightweight champion Marvin Mundo defends his belt against the #1 contender Raheem Lambe, and flyweight champion Jeffrey Martinez faces a hard-hitting Mexican Miguel Garcia Calderon. Plus KO specialist Diego Lopez from Honduras goes toe-to-toe with Kalen Smith from Belize City for the bantamweight belt. There will also be 11 other exciting MMA fights, including a special international female fight as May Blanco from Mexico faces the Nicaraguan Lady Oscarina Lopez in what is sure to be the fight of the night. General admission tickets are only $30 and VIP tickets are $100. On Saturday, May 17th, Prophecy Fighting Championship present Pro FC 60 Martinez versus Garcia, live from the Princess Vegas Hotel and Casino in Santa Elena, Corazon, exclusively on the Express Plus app.
Pro FC 16 is brought to you by Sherwin-Williams, DigiWallet, Carousel Commercial Free Zone, Bellikin Stout.
Attention farmers! The New World screwworm is a serious threat to livestock, pets, wildlife, and humans. It causes yield losses, damages the quality of meat and skins, and can even kill them if left untreated. Check your animals daily. If you see any wounds on them, treat them immediately. Prevention is key. Apply approved healing and fly repellents to the navel of newborn animals after dehorning, ear tagging, or any other practice that leaves wounds on your animals to ensure your animals' well-being. If you notice worms in unusual wounds, report them immediately. Call Baja at 824-4872 or text or WhatsApp 670-7003 or call your nearest Ministry of Agriculture office. And don't forget, never transport or receive animals with injuries. Together, we will prevent the spread of this dangerous disease. This message was brought to you by Baja, OIRSA, AICA, USDA, and the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security, and Enterprise.
Have you seen Lori?
Check in at the White Lotus, where paradise turns into a playground for the privileged, and every sun-soaked moment is dripping with intrigue. Stream The
Have a
White
wonderful
Lotus
last day.
on HBO Max, available with Centaur.
Patrick Faber, a former leader of the United Democratic Party and now UDP senator, was arrested today after a press conference hosted by Tracy Panton, the leader of the opposition, which we'll tell you about in a bit. According to reports, Faber was greeted by police officers at the Biltmore Hotel following his speech at the press conference and was subsequently escorted to the Queen Street police station. The incident leading to Faber's arrest occurred in the early hours of Tuesday. Around 2:17 a.m., a police constable along with a colleague was operating a checkpoint near the Belcan Bridge when a white pickup truck, later identified as belonging to Faber, failed to stop. Officers initiated a chase and apprehended the vehicle on Buttonwood Bay Boulevard. Upon stopping the truck, the officers identified Faber as the driver. After approaching the vehicle, they informed him of the reason for the traffic stop and discovered the vehicle was unlicensed. When requested to present his driver's license, Faber allegedly claimed it was at home and asked the officers to follow him. They complied and went to his residence located on Bay Street, where he produced the required document. While citations for the unlicensed vehicle and a defective light were being prepared, tensions escalated. According to the police report, Faber began recording the officer with his phone, allegedly invading the officer's personal space by holding the device just inches from his face. Despite repeated requests from the officer to maintain distance, Faber reportedly persisted, causing the officer to feel threatened.
Just give yourself working. Just give yourself working space, Dante.
Yeah, I don't have to.
Yeah.
That's fine. You can do what you want to.
No, I'm just telling him to step back because you do not need to be that close to him. So.
Right, could be wherever you want to be.
No,
you could keep the camera over, sir.
Don't touch my
hand. No, don't come close to me.
You don't do that. No, I could do whatever I want
to do. You can't touch my hand.
Hold on.
Dude, you can't do that.
Mr. Faber.
You see, he doesn't assault me, right? You know that an assault
Mr. Faber.
on a public servant is very serious business, right?
I had asked you
to
kindly give him work.
Yeah, but he I did not touch him, please. I did not touch him. I can go wherever I want to go.
Hold on.
No.
Dante, just
step back. Touch me again, right?
Just
You could go ahead and do it.
All right.
You think that the no assault?
Mr. Faber, I'm asking you.
You could say what you want.
Mr. Faber, give him working space. Mr.
I'm
Faber.
not touching.
Mr.
Touch me again. Push me
Mr.
again.
Faber, you're following him.
Push
Give
me
him working
again.
space.
In light of this interaction, Police Constable Dante Smith lodged a formal report alleging obstruction and threats. This prompted the police to obtain a warrant to apprehend Faber. Upon being located, he was informed of the allegations and taken into custody for aggravated assault and obstruction of a police officer. This afternoon, 47-year-old Patrick Faber appeared before the magistrate court where he was arraigned with aggravated assault and obstructing a police officer. He pleaded not guilty to both offenses. Faber, 47, was granted bail of $1,000 with one surety and no conditions. He is represented by attorney O.J. Elrington. The case was adjourned to June 24th. Faber is said to be filing a counter-complaint, appeared before the court where he pled not guilty to both charges.
The officer who laid these charges is the same officer that charged the young man for carrying a 5-gallon water bottle. Let's begin there. Secondly, this same officer is the son of a PUP executive member in the College Division. Let's make that clear.
This is a suggestion then that there's
not
some
a
political
suggestion.
motivation here?
It's not a suggestion. It is a clear, unequivocal fact. It's political area. He was going to his home in the Buttonwood Bay area. He was stopping to get some food when the police ran up stop and accused him of running a lighter whatsoever. No, the Honorable Faber absolutely saw nothing. As he said in his statement, he gave a clear, full statement to the police today. All right? In which he made it clear that there was he did not see anybody, he did not stop anywhere, and he was not speeding, he was not driving fast whatsoever. Which we must articulate another point right now, which is the fact that we have seen accusations that somehow he was under the influence. If ever there was a situation where that is not true, when you already bring false charges, if that was a charge, that would have been a charge, wouldn't they have been?
However, sir, at the same time, it was pointed out he didn't have an updated license for his vehicle.
And you get a ticket for that. $25.
You do?
You get a ticket for that. So exactly, he got a ticket for that. So clearly he got a ticket for that. He has not said anything about that. That is not anything.
And if you think Faber was provoking the officer by holding his cell phone just inches away from the officer's face, Elrington begs to differ.
It is a beautiful thing now, even in this circumstance, that we get to be an example of what is proper and improper police work. It is not the first nor the last time that police officers will assault citizens who are doing nothing more than recording them, which they have a right to do. In fact, the case of Shamar Foster proves, you remember that case? Proves that police officers can assault you if they slap your hands out, your phone out of your hand, which is exactly the set of circumstances which we are looking at right now.
No, based on the police officer's interpretation of Mr. Faber's action, he's accusing Mr. Faber of obstruction.
Yes, he's accusing Mr. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what is the basis upon which they are going to form that obstruction charge, because you have to be doing something that the person obstructs. And
according to Elrington, his client was not permitted to file a counter-complaint, so a civic suit is on the way.
And I did not do anything that would constitute any kind of aggravation.
And as for Patrick, he believes the charges levied against him are politically motivated.
And I did not do anything that would constitute any kind of aggravated assault, nor did I try to stop the police, obstruct the police from doing its job. The police who gave me 2 tickets, by the way, and that was that last night. One for my tail lights. That's the real reason why they claim they stopped me, and they don't show you all of the video. I haven't seen what they've shown you, but from what people are telling me, they diced and spiced what they want, which is a matter in itself. If the police recorded me, how can the video, because I didn't share my version of the video, I have not done so yet. But how can the police video be floating all around? Are they really interested in what is their motive? Clearly it is to try to bring embarrassment and bring shame. And so I am saying for the record that I am not guilty of those charges, and of course we'll wait for the court for us to have our day and for it to be determined.
If we take a look at the records, it is not the first time Faber is charged for aggravated assault against a police officer, and he says, similar to some years ago, he will be freed of the charges.
This week makes 20 years since I was last charged with aggravated assault against a police officer. You remember? So this is not the first time that I've endured such a charge. This is not the first time that I've been targeted because of politics in this manner. I'm not saying that the police didn't have a right to stop me and all of that, but I complied with all that they asked me to do. And all I was trying to do was to make sure, in fact, that I had a version of what happened for the very same reason that I know very well how they are able to use these things in a politically slanted way.
In regard to reports that he was intoxicated, Faber says he stopped consuming alcohol some time ago.
Obviously not. If the police felt that way, listen, they stopped me in front of Blue Marlin, is it? Blue Marlin, where there is a video on Channel 5 where I came out and they asked me for my license. I told them I did not have my license on me. They insisted that the regulation that says, or what I thought to be the case, that you have 24 hours to produce your license, they said, the police told me absolutely not. And so I told him that I was not too far away from where I needed to be to get the license, and he allowed me to get in the vehicle and followed me there. If I was drunk, he would not have done that. And as you've heard my attorney say, in fact, those who know me will know that from January 1st, I've stopped drinking, and I only took some drinks on my birthday weekend, and that was it. So that is a complete and utter fabrication, and I reject that out of hand.
After a short period of perceived calm within the United Democratic Party, chaos has once again erupted from within the party following Shine Barrows' announcement that he would be retaking leadership of the party. Since then, there has been some back and forth between the two separate factions of the party over the party's headquarters in Belize City. Today, the party held its first official press conference under the leadership of opposition leader, Honorable Tracy Panton, who was flanked by her parliamentary team, which consists of Lee Mark Chang and Godwin Haylock, and party senators Sheena Pitts and Patrick Faber. In her opening address, Honorable Panton took the time to address the happenings of the party, clarifying that the UDP continues in its path to unity and are not being distracted by the noise being raised by a few.
I say this. I want you to hear me loudly and clearly. We are renewed. I think the head table is indicative of that. We are united. We are determined to move forward. We are rebuilding from the ground up, engaging our young minds, re-energizing our grassroots, one constituency at a time, defending our democracy at every opportunity we get. We are committed to being the voice of the voiceless and the relentless watchdog for good governance and accountability.
And to cement the party's mandate of uniting the party, Panton says a leadership convention is in the near future for the UDP.
I think you outlined the plan in your question. There will be a National Party Council convene and a formal National Party Council meeting in May. At that meeting, a date for the leadership convention will be agreed to. A leadership convention will be held, and we are then going to ensure that the leadership team receives a fresh mandate from the delegates of the party.
Today's press conference also served as an opportunity for the party's leadership to address issues which they say are of utmost concern for the nation at this time, starting with the looming trade war, which is threatening to have serious effects on Belize and other smaller nations in the region. On this matter, Area Rep for Mesopotamia, Honorable Lee Mark Chang, highlighted a few steps which he says the government can take to reduce the negative effects of this international issue on our nation.
The United Democratic Party is now sounding the alarm. Before the damage is done, We are calling on the government to act urgently and responsibly. There are solutions. There are way forward. The UDP proposes the following immediate steps. Diversify our trade partners. We must open new doors in the Caribbean, Latin America, and Europe, so we are not dependent on just a few countries. Support small businesses and medium businesses. Strengthen our local industries. Make capital easier to access for entrepreneurs, the true drivers of our Belizean economy. Boost agriculture, tourism, and manufacturing. The more we produce and sell ourselves, the stronger our independent we become. Simplify doing business. Slash unnecessary customs delays. Lower the cost of moving goods across the borders, and create real incentives for export.
And sticking to the issue of international affairs affecting our country, UDP Senator Patrick Faber today also raised with much concern the recent withdrawal of the MCC fund in Belize. Faber says the government must present its plan to minimize the backlash of this development in Belize.
To be told as a nation, what is it that the government intends to do? You've heard about the trade wars, but you've heard about now, you're hearing now about the withdrawal of these funds. This is serious money. This is $250 million with a B that the MCC project would have brought for education, for energy, for agriculture. These things are important pillars of our economy. Yet we have not heard anything official from the government as to, in fact, we haven't heard from them that it's happening officially at all. We were told yesterday that Secretary of State for the United States, Marco Rubio, had a telephone conversation with our Prime Minister, and among other matters discussed, including congratulating him on his re-election, that the MCC funds being withdrawn was one of the topics. And I think it goes beyond just the MCC, because there are other projects, not only in Belize, but the entire region, where the funding has been withdrawn because of the new policies of the United States. But I raised the conversation, my friends, because while they put out some kind of notice to tell us that the Prime Minister and Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, had a conversation and they discussed the matters, they failed to tell us what the Prime Minister said on our behalf and on the behalf of all those people in the region who will suffer from that kind of withdrawal of funds from their projects.
Another major issue which the UDP says the government of Belize has been silent about is the recent hijacking of the Tropic airplane, which resulted in the death of the hijacker and serious injuries to 3 Belizeans.
But there is a great national security risk here. Tourism is our jewel. We have to protect it so everyone is confident to fly that domestic aircraft to San Pedro and enjoy our sandy beaches in San Pedro. The way we go about doing that is having a task force immediately held to deal with it. No knee-jerking reaction will suffice for something like this. Putting a police officer here or putting a police officer there cannot tell the true story of national security. So I'm holding the government accountable to answer for this.
It is of note that the Ministry of Civil Aviation has announced a national press conference on Wednesday, April 30th, where various issues will be addressed. The Rebels Basketball Organization, along with the Orange Walk Basketball Association, are teaming up to host the very first Pee Wee Basketball Invitational here in Orange Walk Town this weekend. The all-day event will see basketball clubs from the Orange Walk and Belize districts in the under 13 and under 10 divisions compete for the glory of becoming champions in their respective age groups. The event will kick off at the Philip Alvarez Basketball Dome on Saturday, May 3rd at 8:30 a.m.
The Rebels Basketball Organization and the Orange Walk District Basketball Association are joining together to present what is known as the Pee Wee Invitational Basketball Competition, which caters for a one-day event for kids U10 and U13. The Pee Wee Invitational is really a tournament that creates a platform for these kids at these ages to compete in an atmosphere that's really created for them, so that they can develop their skills, they can challenge each other at that age group, and really just giving them an opportunity to be in that competitive atmosphere.
Talk to us about what the level of the sport is at that level here in Range Rock, of what you guys have been able to see.
Well, that stage is really development. And so even if you go out on Saturday, you'll see that the competition itself is crafted in a way that allows for their skills to develop. So the rules are slightly different. The time is managed different. The height of the rims are adjusted for them. So it's all about giving them that opportunity to develop at that age.
At this level of the sport, Raul Rosado of Rebels Basketball says the hope is for players to develop the skills and love for the sport, which is what Saturday's event is geared towards.
For us, it's always something that we've been interested in. As you know, Rebels does the yearly summer camp, and in other holidays we try to do camps as well. And it includes kids of that age group. So it's something that's growing. It's something that is needed. I know for Orange Walk we have two great clubs that are trying to do and have their teams together in the Brotherhood Ballas and the Sugar City Flames that really cater for those levels. And so I'm sure it's an exciting Saturday for them to be able to play in Orange Walk in front of their family and friends as well. No?
Saturday's event will see participation by more than 10 teams, including 2 from right here in Orange Walk.
Most of the teams have participated in the Pee Wee that was hosted in the city. Most of the teams that are coming to play are between the Belize district and the Orange Walk district, but they have some very nice clubs. Clubs that are continuously practicing with their kids, and are not just showing up to compete, but within the competitions, they regularly practice. So we have clubs like the MVP Club, the Hard Rock Ballas, the Conquering Lions, and like I said, from Orange Walk, the Sugar City Flames and the Brotherhood Ballas.
Now, just talk to us a little about what we can expect, if we make it out on Saturday to take part or witness this event.
Well, I think it's going to be something very exciting. It's definitely something new for Orange Walk to come and see. We really don't have so many competitions that cater for these levels. So I think it's something exciting.
Once again, the event will kickstart at 8:30 a.m. at the Philip Alvarez Basketball Dome. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Have you seen Lori? Have you seen Lori?
Check in at the White Lotus, where paradise turns into a playground for the privileged, and every sun-soaked moment is dripping with intrigue. Stream The White Lotus on HBO Max, available with Centaur.
Hola, ¿estás en tu teléfono móvil ahora mismo, navegando las redes sociales, escuchando la radio o viendo televisión? ¿Alguna vez te has detenido a pensar qué es lo que le da energía a mi dispositivo? La electricidad es esencial para nuestra vida diaria, dando energía a nuestros hogares, negocios, transporte y por supuesto esa serie que no puedes dejar de ver. Pero, ¿cómo funciona todo esto? En esta temporada de Watts and Whys of Energy, te llevamos detrás de cámaras, hablando con nuestros expertos y trayéndote novedades y respuestas a tus preguntas más importantes sobre la energía. Mi nombre es Emanuel Pech y te invito a acompañarnos en vivo por Facebook y prepárate para ver la energía desde una nueva perspectiva. Dale like, comparte y síguenos para ser parte de la conversación.
Belize Electricity Limited, providing you safe and reliable power when you need it.
The Honorable Dr. Louisa Bani, Minister of Constitution and Religious Affairs, Indigenous Affairs and Transportation, met with the United Nations Development Programme UNDP team to advance strategic collaboration to strengthen Belize's transportation governance and modernization efforts. The UNDP delegation, led by Mr. Michael Lund, Deputy President Representative, along with Ryan Zuniga, Nature, Climate and Energy Program Lead, and Ameline Mendes, Inclusive Growth and Digitalization Program Analyst, shared updates on the e-mobility pilot project, a bold step towards a cleaner, greener Belize, powered by innovation and sustainable energy. The discussions also explored other areas of mutual interest, reinforcing the partnership between the Ministry and UNDP in driving sustainable development and inclusive progress across Belize. Supporting the minister at the meeting were Leon Gentle, Chief Transport Officer, Peter Williams, Deputy Chief Transport Officer, and Anna Logue, Director of Policy Planning and Research. Today's press conference held by the United Democratic Party also gave the media the opportunity to question the opposition leader and her team about any concerns surrounding the ongoing case before High Court Justice Tawanda Ondora, which puts into question the legality of Panton's leadership within the party.
I will ask our chair, who also serves to advise us legally, to answer the question, but I will say this. The party is moving forward. The party, as I've said before, will have a national party council, will determine a date for a national convention to be held, and will hold a legal convention that will set in motion a new mandate for its leadership team. We will not wait for a decision to be made by Justice Hondura. For this reason only, whatever decision is taken by Justice Hondura, the leadership team still needs to be formally installed and still needs a fresh mandate.
At the end of the hearing, Justice Hondura, in his infinite wisdom, commended to the parties for in Belize, as we say, the umpteenth time, that it is the parties who ought get together and resolve their differences. And so, Ms. Lanza, the party has said today that we are moving forward. We're moving forward in unity and by inclusion. So, Ms. Lanza, that means that every UDP member is invited to move forward with us, irrespective of whatever our positions may be in law, in court, and without prejudice to same. So then, if moving forward contemplates that we invite Mr. August, you say on your end that you are the vice chair, sure, join us on our way forward to mend the party back. And so, my dear Ms. Lanza, inclusion is a verb, and we are doing it, and it means that everyone is invited.
And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Wednesday, April 30th, here on Ctv3 News and Face the FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page, Recurring Stories, at facebook.com/CTV3 Belize News, or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.